Unreal explores the possibility of a virtual reality journey for critically ill patients in enhancing the chances for healing. The architecture that I am designing is a virtual extension to the healthcare design of the future, such that the user is a critically ill patient that is situated at the intensive care unit of the hospital. The tool that I am using is a virtual reality headset known as Oculus Quest, because it is the least intrusive in terms of health, such that this technology already exists while having a lot of precedence in visual, navigational, and audio design. Based on my previous case studies, the design logic of the virtual journey should be customizable and therapeutic, such that it should include the element of companionship. Therefore, I have decided for my project to be a guided meditative journey that includes an interactive customization process. The interactive customization process is when the interactivity of the patient is based on the patient's ability to customize his or her own journey from a set of libraries. For example, as shown here, the patient has 4 options for an end result journey based on the patient's preference along the way. My virtual world is a 20-minute journey as recommended by the virtual reality makers that can be accessed several times but with at least a 30 minutes break between every journey. The journey starts as an introductory guided meditation where the narrator guides the patient along the way. In the introductory phase, the narrator asks the patient to close his or her eyes as a part of an imaginative meditative process to allow the patient to imagine the space he or she would prefer to go to from the set of options. The interactive customizable space starts when the narrator asks the patient to open his or her eyes once they've decided the space to enter based on the options. In that space, the patient can visit several therapeutic spaces and interact with their surroundings, and also be teleported to other spaces. The patient can also interact with others if wanted, in certain spaces that allows multiple users. In the end, the journey ends in a meditative form, allowing the patient to relax. I am using wireframes as an architectural blueprint to later transform it into scenes. You can see here the capsule space modules where the environment takes place within. The modules are abstracted based on the environment that will take place within and based on whether the space is a multiple user space or a single user space. The 2-ended capsule module is for a single user space, whereas the 4-ended capsule module is for a multiple user space. So here is the beginning of my wireframe, the introductory space, where it would start as a guided meditation, using only the narrator's voice, since no space was yet customized by the patient. The narrator here asks the patient to close his or her eyes. Later on, the narrator starts asking the patient what kind of space they want to start with, whether it is indoors or outdoors, and also by explaining to the user how the navigational method works. That is through tilting their head to the left for one choice and to the right for another, such that tilting their heads upwards will quit the journey. After the patient picked his or her first option, they can now open their eyes and will be at the scene of their choice. The option represented in a continuous line in the diagram is the series of spaces that will be later on represented as modules and as scenes in the video. In the video, the option was picked to represent the mountain scene that we will see in the end. Later on, the patient can interact with certain objects that the narrator directs the patient towards, such as inspirational stories engraved in the stones, only if the patient wants to, by tilting his or her head to the yes or no. If yes, a note appears to the patient's environment. where later on the patient can interact or visit other spaces when the narrator asks. This wireframe process demonstrated here is part of a bigger set wireframe that translates the whole journey. From the wireframe, the pathway of the journey yielded this arrangement of space capsule models that contains environments, such as the environment are as follow: the introductory space, the nature scene, the bonfire scene, and then the end scene. The introductory, nature scene, and the end scene will be represented in the video following this.
Hi, I'm your narrator, and I welcome you to Unreal, a virtual reality guided meditation. You can make yourself as comfortable as you can in this moment. Allow yourself to just be here and now. I know that you're enduring a lot of pain, but I'm here to help. For now, I ask you to close your eyes. For the next 20 minutes, let us both experience something unreal by listening to the sound of my voice and observing the worlds I share with you. Clear your head and allow yourself to relax. Let's imagine together and help me create your world. Where do you imagine yourself? Are you indoors? Are you outdoors? Are you on a warm, sandy beach or high up among the mountains? Remember, you can make your choices by tilting your head left or right. In case a pause is needed, simply tilt your head up. Our introduction is now complete and you are ready to open your eyes. Welcome again to Unreal. Look at the view around you and take a deep breath. Relax and enjoy the sound of the wind. Many have come here before you, and they have some inspirational stories to share. Do you want to hear the stories? You can now read your own story. You have tilted your head upwards, so it is time to exit the journey.